Hello, my name is Aaron Turner. I'm on the board of the 3PGC. And we really wanted to make some videos that we hoped would be helpful to people during the time of this virus outbreak. And what lies behind that is that, well, just a little bit about the 3PGC. The 3PGC wants to help as many people as possible benefit from the discoveries of Sydney Banks. And what Sydney Banks discovered was, well, my appreciation of it is the nature and the role of the mind that is mostly unappreciated and generally overlooked. And you can really see it as this pandemic progresses. So we wanted to try and make some videos so people could see what was possible in terms of their experience of this pandemic. Because one of the things that you'll see is that some people you talk to are having a very rich, peaceful time because everything's so quiet, there's not as much work to do, they're home with their families. And some people are having an unbearably anxious time because it feels like there's a lot going on, there's a lot to think about, they feel very threatened and uncertain. And while the facts of the situation remain the same, it's interesting that it's possible to have such different experiences of the situation. And what Sydney Banks pointed to was why that's the case. Because we're experiencing the thought that we have about the situation, not the situation. And when you really start to consider that, and you start to consider something else that he pointed to, which is that underneath the ins and outs of our thought, it's our nature to have well-being at ease. So if we don't get caught up in anxious thought or reactive thought or disturbed thought, there's nothing for us to feel except well-being and calm. And if you don't know that, it's very easy to start to feel that a situation is making you feel bad. And as soon as you think that, your ability to feel different by relating to your thoughts different disappears, and you start to feel victimized. And that's happening to people now. And it's unnecessary. So I work with a lot of businesses, and I was on a call with a team a couple of weeks ago, or maybe a week ago, and there were a couple members of the team that were really panicked. And one of the things that made them feel panicked is that they felt that because the situation was uncertain and potentially dangerous, it made sense to be panicked. So they didn't even really realize that they were panicked. And when we started discussing that you're experiencing the thought that you're having, so if you're experiencing panic, you're in a reaction, you're not in your right mind, that opened up the possibility to them. So they went from saying, "Oh my God, this is terrible. What are we going to do? Everybody should stay home." And basically what I wanted them to see is, okay, it's fine that people stay home, but can you see that you're in a freaked out state of mind? And at first they basically said, no, my state of mind is appropriate to the situation. I'm not in a state of mind. And then as we talked about it and they started to see that they really were panicked, and not everybody on the call was panicked, even though everybody agreed it was serious, they started to consider that maybe there was something that they were doing in their mind that was causing them to feel bad, and that maybe they weren't in as clear a thought as they believed that they were. And as they started to suspect that they might be treating anxious thought as if it was helpful, they started to calm down. And that possibility that you don't have to treat your anxious thinking as if it's useful just because we're in an uncertain, potentially dangerous situation. That's a possibility that allows us to have equanimity, calm, peace of mind, enjoyment in the same situation. And that is a incredible potential that, in a way, it's tragic that not everybody's aware of it. And the only thing you need to be aware of it is start to consider that we're experiencing thought, and you can have lots of different kinds of thought in any situation. And when you start to consider that, instead of using the situation to essentially justify being worried, you can start to see that, oh, my state of mind, the way that I feel, the way that I see things, the thoughts I'm having are separate from the situation. And you can start to have a freer mind in the face of the same situation, not be stuck on a certain track of thought because it seems appropriate.